no matter how douchebaggy he is, you are doing something right. Because if I did not hate you, you're doing something wrong.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly,
right.
And I do not like that guy at all right now, so he's definitely bringing it on. I'll never forget when he admitted to Will that was the reason he wants the baby with them and not with Will, because he was gay. I never thought he was really going to admit that. It's like so soon.
Yeah, I didn't either, but I'm more or less now wondering what's going to happen when Vargas gets out and he faces Nick all over again. I told him, I'm so impatient. I want to know what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
And I'm dying to know what they're going to bring to the table, as well as find out more as to what the behind-the-scenes story was of what happened between Vargas and Nick in prison.
Well, maybe it was behind the scenes in the jail that Vargas...
Very much speculated, and I don't doubt it. It kind of... Yeah, a lot of people are saying that it's possible that what happened in prison was the same thing somewhat to what happened with Michael and Carter on the hospital, and I don't doubt that whatsoever. I think that's probably it. That probably was what happened.
Yeah, and that's why he hates gay people so much.
Right. And
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say it makes sense. That's all.
Mhm.
Will and Sonny, pretty much the fact that they're able to showcase their romance on screen without having to worry about any barriers, I think is really good for the show.
Yes.
I could not believe how enthralled I was with Sammy and EJ having sex the other day.
Oh, my God. And then she brings up knocking off Nick.
In the middle of them having sex. I just basically sat there like, that just happened, right?
I could not believe it. Oh, my God. All hot and heavy. Well, we really need to get rid of Nick.
And they got back to getting busy again. I was like,
wow.
Oh.
Yeah, it like turned them on, that the thought of knocking off Nick. It turned them on. It was so funny.
I thought that was great. I was so thinking that scene. I was like, damn, this is what got them hot and heavy, was basically the thought of getting rid of Nick. Damn.
Right? That just blew my mind, too. I mean, that was so funny. I had to laugh, you know. It really was funny. But anytime you can see EJ or James Scott without a shirt is okay by me. I don't care what he says.
I
know. Rafe and Kate? Interesting.
Oh.
Interesting. It's interesting.
It's interesting, and I don't have a final view on that yet, or opinion, I should say.
Pretty much where I am with it. I just think it's interesting. I don't know where else to go.
Daniel.
Chloe, Daniel, Jennifer. Yeah.
That's driving me insane. I'd rather see him with Chloe.
That can go away.
Yeah.
And of course,
I'd rather see him with Chloe if I had to pick one.
And we all know that Nicole's going to find some way to get that collar off of Eric's neck.
You know it. You know it.
Somehow I knew he was going to say that.
And I can't wait for that to happen, because although I am so very thankful that they brought the Eric character back, why as a priest? Couldn't he be a reverend or somebody that can do the hoochie coochie?
Yeah, right. You can't. Yeah, you're pretty much taking a vow of pretty much going like, yeah, we can't have fun in the sack anymore.
No.
Well, it sets up that tension factor between the two characters. You know, the fact of, you know, he can't do it because it'll break a vow, and you know.
Yeah, but you know what? Eric's not even thinking that way. I mean, he's clueless to how Nicole feels. And he's not even thinking that way. He just keeps asking her what's wrong. Like, he thinks that she's thinking about Daniel and that. So he doesn't have a clue.
Yeah.
So the tension is all on Nicole's side right now.
Right.
Well, maybe she just needs to take her clothes off and be done with it. Then he'll get a clue.
That's
If you don't get a clue, then maybe he just needs to remain a priest and she needs to move on.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more like blatantly obvious you could make it if you did that. I mean, so that's just kind of, I'm not saying that's what I would do, but I'm saying in her case.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
No. But, I mean, seriously, in her case, it's like, come on already, stop beating around the bush, If he's clueless, then you're going to have to get his attention, obviously, and make him be unclueless. So, yeah.
Well, I absolutely love, too, that they brought Patrika Darbo back.
Mm-hmm.
Love her. I always did. And where's her hubby?
I was getting ready to say, where's Kevin Spirits at?
Uh-huh.
It's time for Dr. Craig Wesley to make an appearance. I'm just saying.
That's right.
He's available. Give him a call.
Is he? Oh, you hear us, NBC? You hear us, Dave?
Right.
Call him.
Right.
But that would be interesting too if he came back, because here Chloe's mom is all for helping her out get Daniel, and then bring in the dad, and he's going to be, what's wrong with you girls?
Mm-hmm.
So that would put another spin on it. Let's see, who else?
Love
what else?
having Eileen Davidson back as Kirsten DeMera.
Oh, yes. And I can't wait till Stefano gets back.
Finally.
Yeah, he's been gone forever. I mean, is this just something, in your opinion, that Days has going with Stefano? Like, just phone it in for like 6 months? Or what's going on there?
I don't know. I really don't know. I just know that Elizabeth Hasselbeck is leaving The View, but I don't know what's going on with. I'm happy about that, by the way. But I don't know what they're planning on doing with Stefano, especially when he returns. I really don't know.
When he finds Kate and Rafe together, maybe that'll stir the pot.
And I know he knows about EJ and Sammy, but I don't really know what more he'll be able to do as far as they are concerned. But as far as with Kristen, I'm sure he could make plenty of use out of that with her and John and Marlena. So there'll be something for him to do in Salem.
Yeah. Well, I like how it ended with John showing up at the door, so I can't wait to see what he has to say.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last I saw of that. I'm trying to think. Are there any other characters on Days?
Sounds like you've covered them all.
I think those are the only front burner ones for now. Okay, so we'll move on to ABC, and which, of course, we only know there's one soap there now. So hit it with GH.
GH. Well, first of all, let's get out what we hate, since that would probably be the least one that we will be able to come up with.
Yeah.
What do we hate about the show?
What do we hate?
Kate, Connie. I have to be honest. I love you, Kelly Sullivan. I really, really do. But Kate, Connie has got to go. So
that's my opinion, and that's exactly what I was going to say. I'm so tired of that storyline. I just want to rip my eyes out every time she switches over one or the other. I can't handle it anymore.
I'm just like, pick one and stick with it. If anything, if it were me, I would have them stick with Connie and just at that. I found Connie more interesting, and I'd rather it have been Connie that remained the dominant alter and not have her revert back to Kate. But I'm tired of the back and forthing.
I am too.
I'm just like, no, just stop it right now. Just stop it.
How many times in one episode have we watched it recently? I mean, she went from having sex with Sonny as Connie, and then the next thing as Kate, and now Connie's back again, and please, that's it. No.
And how, if you watch, I mean, when I saw that, when she was in the mirror basically telling about how Kate was going to steal her man, Sonny, I was like, wait, what? Like, wait a minute, what? I was just so, my head spun. So that was really my only thing about the show that I had a gripe about. Is just this whole thing just needs to wrap it up. I'm loving everything else. I know people had complained about this whole thing with Caleb and Lucy and Heather and Todd and the vampires, which you saw were not vampires.
Right.
But, of course, I was biased because I was a Port Charles fan. So
I loved it. And, yes, like you, watched Port Charles, loved it, hated when they took it off, so I'm glad that they put a little bit of it in there. I
was a huge Port Charles fan. I loved Port Charles. And, of course, this was during the time when it was on. I still have SoapNet, so I don't even know why I'm saying that. I still have SoapNet, but I was able to watch The Young and the Restless and Port Charles, so I didn't have to worry about it missing both of those shows. And I loved it when Michael Easton first came on as Caleb, and his chemistry with Kelly Monaco. Caleb and Libby were my everything.
Oh, mine too.
They were my everything. Loved it. I was so upset when they killed him off, and then when they brought him back, that was totally in love with it.
Yep. The only thing is, we all thought when they killed Caleb, or whatever his name turned out to be, that was the end of it, but Lucy, of course, didn't believe it. But then in the morgue, that guy stuck the ring back on his finger, and his finger moved. So what's going on there? Is there going to be more to this? They left us hanging with that.
I guess that's true what they say. We just got to wait and see.
Yeah.
But I would just love it if they wound up doing something. Maybe this could be his exit, Michael Easton's exit. They do something with John and Caleb, which is why we won't see him for a certain amount of time before he can come back. Never know. You never know.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking, too, because he's working on One Life to Live, and I also read, now, of course, I don't believe everything I read, so that's why I question it, is that he cannot be on GH while he's airing on One Life to Live. Right.
He can't. That's per the agreement, which makes sense, obviously, that you can't, that he can't air the same day. Like, if he was on One Life to Live, his character cannot air on General Hospital on the same day. Like I said, it makes sense.
Right, exactly. And I wonder if it's that way for Chris Alderson and Roger Howarth. I would imagine it probably is.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
Yeah. It definitely makes sense because of, it takes away from One Life to Live viewing. I think that because people are used to seeing it on TV, as you say, a lot of people won't watch it online, and if they know they can get their Michael Easton fix or the Roger Howard fix, they're going to watch DH at this point.
Right.
So, that makes sense, and I don't blame them for doing it. But it'll be interesting to see how those storylines go. Who do you want Felicia with?
It really did me in when I saw those flashbacks of Frisco and Felicia.
I know.
It really did me in.
I know.
I was so in love with Mac and Felicia.
Me too.
Kind of tough to choose at this point.
It is for me too. You miss the Felicia Frisco days, and you know how good they used to be, but then you know how well her and Mac are together, and then he's always there to support her and has raised her family for her, and you'd hate to see that go by the wayside as well. So to me, if you asked me that same question, I couldn't pick right now.
No, I couldn't either.
So who else? Oh, when did Chris Alderson become a brain child with, we always knew she was intelligent, but since when is she like this person that's like a chemist or something that knows the breakdown of all these things? Where did that come from? Was that out of the blue, or did I miss something?
I think that actually did start a little bit on One Night to Live. It was hinted a little bit, but we never really seen anything. So I'm kind of assuming it started there by this one scene when Victor and Todd, when they were trying to decipher who was the real Todd Manning, she kind of put two and two together and realized that they were possibly twins,
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that she thought that they were twins. Of course, Jack thought they were clones because he